Yo, what's up with y'all boys and girls, man? Hey, it's Jay Briggs here, continuing. Let's cook up this NBA action, man. Y'all know what we do here on the Jam Session. We cook up every single game, every single day. Money making Wednesday, ladies and gentlemen. Yesterday, I was sitting there twiddling my thumbs. There was no NBA games, man. We were on fire here on the Jam Session and on the premium side on Monday. And they took a day off, tried to cool us down, man. But they can't do it. They can't do it. Monday was the bounce back day we needed. Now let's keep the momentum rolling forward, man. Let's do what we do. And that's kick the crap out of the books, betting hoops here on the Jam Session, man. I appreciate each and every one of y'all that continue to tune in and watch this video. Money making Wednesday, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, I got premium plays for you over at the site. But we finna break down this huge NBA card right here, right now. So without further ado, let's do exactly that. Let's make some money tonight. Let's hop right to tonight's NBA action. First game of the day. We're in Charlotte where the Hornets are 1.5-point home favorites over the Detroit Pistons. Total 222.5. Two young and up-and-coming teams, man. Two teams that were bad a season ago. But, they have a lot of young talent and they're up-and-coming. The Pistons over there with Kay Cunningham, who's healthy currently. Jaden Ivey, who's healthy currently. The Hornets. LaMelo Ball, who's healthy currently. They also got Brandon Miller over there. This is a young team with some good young talent. We're going to bet in certain spots and situations this season. The Pistons coming off two nice wins. The Pistons have won 3 of their last 4. They beat the Nets out on the road comfortably. Final score in that one was 106-92. And I was quite surprised to see the fashion they beat the Lakers at home at the crib. Final score in that one was 115-103. The Hornets, they are coming off 3 straight losses. They lost back-to-back to the defending champs, the Boston Celtics, and they lost out on the road to the Minnesota Timberwolves, who are coming off a loss heading into that game. So nothing really to hang their head on in that 3-game stretch. Again, the defending champs and a team that was in the Western Conference Finals. A game like this, a very winnable game at home, at the crib. I'm on the Charlotte Hornets. I'm going to lay the 1.5. I think the Pistons are starting to become a little overrated, a little overvalued, especially coming off the huge public win against the most public team on the planet, the Lakers. We will bet the Pistons this season. They are playing well, winning 3 of their last 4. But in a vacuum, I still think the Hornets are the better team. I've talked to y'all about the Hornets this season. I like what I'm seeing from them. I expect them to win this game at home tonight. Give me Charlotte. Won't overcomplicate it. I'll lay the 1.5. Let's keep it rolling. Next game up, we're in Indiana, where the Pacers are 6.5-point home favorites over the Orlando Magic. Total 226.5. Look, this one's short, sweet, and simple. I'm on Indiana. I'm laying the 6.5. Indiana's another offensive juggernaut. I just don't think the Orlando Magic can keep up with offensively. Orlando, without their best player, Paolo Banchero, I don't trust them offensively at all. They're a great defensive team, but Paolo is their offensive initiator. He's their consistent bucket getter. He's the one that gets it all going. He demands double teams. He frees everybody else up. And without him on the floor, this Orlando Magic team is going to continue to struggle offensively. And defense will not be able to carry them against the best offensive teams. And that's just who they run up against since he's been hurt. The Mavs, the Thunder, now playing the Pacers. It's just a terrible matchup for them. So not overcomplicating this one. I'm laying the points with the Pacers. They're starting to show me those signs and tendencies from a season ago where they broke almost every offensive number you can think of. I think the Pacers offense will just be too much for Orlando tonight. They won't be able to keep up scoring. Defense in the NBA is low-key a myth. Yes, defense matters, but it really only matters when you have the offense to go with it. And right now, the Magic just don't have that. When they play mediocre, bad teams, yes, we'll be betting the Magic. Yes, we'll be able to pick our spots with them. But when they go against offensive juggernauts, which they have their last couple games, they really have no chance. And I don't think they have one tonight. I'm laying it here with Indiana. Let's keep it rolling. Next game up, we're in Atlanta, where the Hawks are 7.5-point home dogs with the New York Knicks rolling in. Total 225.5. Y'all know what we're doing here. We're fading the Hawks. They're the number 1 team on the do not bet list. They're currently the worst ATS team in the league at 1-6 against the number. They were the worst ATS team a season ago, only covered in 35% of their games. Unless they show a post, which they haven't, we're going to continue to fade this team. Short, sweet, simple. Now, let me be 1,000% honest with y'all. I am betting the Knicks here. That doesn't mean I think it's a great bet. Here's why. I still think the Knicks are overrated, overvalued, personally. If it was any other team outside of the Atlanta Hawks on the other side, I definitely would not be laying 7.5 points with the Knicks on the road. So that's point one, why I'm a little nervous about this bet. Point two, I'm a little nervous about this fake rivalry these two teams got going on. The fuck Trae Young rivalry. Y'all know Trae Young loved to come out here and hoop against the Knicks. When I looked at how these two teams matched up just a season ago, remember, the Hawks were the worst ATS team in basketball. Terrible. You would think the Knicks, who were good last year, dominated, right? No, they didn't. The Hawks won the last meeting 116-100. The Knicks won the meeting before that 116-114. Hawks would have covered this line. And the Knicks did win the meeting before that in Atlanta 126-120, but Hawks would have covered this line. So all three meetings last season were semi-competitive. Because this is a slick little rivalry game. I am on the Knicks. I am laying the points. The reason the do not bet list was created was even in spots and situations where teams on the list look good, look appetizing, look like maybe we should take the Hawks in this spot. We have the list for a reason. Do not bet. So I'm not overcomplicating it. I am laying the points with the Knicks. I don't think it's a great bet, but I think it's the right bet. That's what I'm doing here in this. Let's keep it rolling. Next game up, we're in Boston, where the Celtics, the defending champs, are 7.5-point home favorites over the Golden State Warriors. Hey, I usually come here and say, unless I have a clear and concise reason to fade Boston, I'm just not doing so. But I low-key believe I have one in this game. First reason being the Warriors on the road are just a money-making machine. They're 4-0 ATS on the road this season. They were 27-15 on the road ATS last season, second best in the league. Last season basically covered at a 65% clip on the road. And when I just think of these two teams, when I think of who's that thorn in the side of the Celtics, it's the Warriors. Remember, we saw the Warriors beat them in the finals a couple seasons ago. Last year, these two teams split the season series. Golden State won the first meeting. Final score in that game was 132-126. Boston did avenge all their demons, finally get past the Golden State Warriors and took them on the woodshed second game of the season. 140-88. I honestly believe that was part of the reason they were able to go on their run and finally win their first finals. But in a game like this tonight, remember, the Celtics are still banged up. Porzingis is out. Jaylen Brown is out. I really like what I've seen from the Warriors this far this season. And if they play that same style of basketball, hell yeah, I definitely think they can come in here and compete with Boston, especially with the injuries. I think 7.5 is a lot of points to lay, especially on a team that has the track record the Warriors have on the road of keeping games competitive and winning them outright. I think sprinkling on Warriors money line is worth a little sprinkle, but I also think plus a 7.5 is a really good bet. I think the Warriors do enough to keep this game competitive. They've usually been that thorn in the side of the Celtics, and I think they continue to be that. Give me Golden State plus the points here in this. Let's keep it rolling. Next game up, we're in Houston, H-Town, where the Rockets are laying 6.5 points on the San Antonio Spurs, total 213.5. This will be the third meeting between these two teams this year. They split the first two in San Antonio. First meeting, final score was 109-106. I'll say that was a bad spot for the Rockets in that game. They were on a back end of a back-to-back with travel. San Antonio caught them in that game. They played 2 days later in the quick revenge spot for the Houston Rockets. They won the game and covered 106-101. Remember, both games were in San Antonio. I'm on the Rockets in this one. I'm laying the points. I trust Houston in Houston. Short, sweet, simple. We made a ton of money on the Houston Rockets last year at home, at the crib. And they're starting to show me those same signs and tendencies that's who they're going to be again this year. Last year, as home favorites, when they were favorited at home, they were 14-5-1 against the number. They covered in 74% of their home games they were favorited in. Overall, at home last year, they were the second best home team. They were 27-13-1 against the number, covered at a 68% clip. I love betting Houston in Houston. They were our play of the day the other day on Monday against the New York Knicks. Hey, they handled business in that game. Won that game by double digits, 109-97. They've now won 3 of their last 4. I know they lost to Golden State at home, but Golden State looked tough, man. Golden State looks tough. Let's just call a spade a spade. Um, San Antonio, they have been semi-competitive, but now missing Sohan, who's out for a while. Vassal's still out. Trey Jones still out. Greg Pop is out. I think we're going to start to see the Spurs take that decline. Um, you know, when they played two good teams on the road, their last two teams they played good teams. I'm not counting that Jazz game. The Jazz are a bad team. But when they played the Thunder on the road, they lost by double digits. When they played the Clippers on the road, they lost by 9. I trust Houston in Houston. I think this time this is probably a double-digit win for the Rockets at home, at the crib. Injury report for the Rockets. Eason is game time decision, and so is Dylan Brooks. But the Rockets are such a deep team. I don't think those two necessarily move the needle for me too much. I trust Houston in Houston. Short, sweet, simple. I'm going to lay the points with these boys at home, at the crib. Let's keep it rolling. Next game up. Hey, we got a good one. We're in Memphis, where the Grizzlies are laying 1.5 points on the Los Angeles Lakers. Last time we seen these two teams match up healthy was in the postseason 2 years ago, where the Lakers won that postseason series. Of course, that was the Dylan Brooks Grizzlies. You know, that was a fun series and a fun season to see these two go at it. It lost its luster last season with the Grizzlies being as bad as they were, having their G League team out there, the Memphis Hustle. But I think we kind of see some of that energy and thing return in this game tonight. First, let's talk injury report-wise, though. The Lakers injury report is kind of concerning. D'Lo, game-time decision. Austin Reeves, game-time decision. And the biggest piece of them all, Anthony Day-to-Day Davis, game-time decision. The thing is, he's always game-time decision. I'm not a doctor, but I think he's playing tonight. He better play tonight because he's basically who my bet is riding on. I'm riding on the Lakers contingent on Anthony Davis playing this basketball game. I think Anthony Davis gives Zach Edey his welcome to the NBA moment tonight. I think Anthony Davis absolutely goes off. I honestly believe the Lakers are just a bad matchup for the Memphis Grizzlies. I love betting Memphis in Memphis. Usually at a small line like this with the Grizzlies, I would be all over them. But I got to take the Lakers here in this one. I do think right now, currently, today on November 6th at 7 o'clock in the morning, the Lakers are the better basketball team. I want to see them healthy, but I like them in this spot. I think it's a lock-in spot for them as well after losing 3 of their last 4. Coming off a terrible loss to the Detroit Pistons, I think this is a lock-in spot for them. They gave up the cover the game before that against the Raptors. Let the Raptors walk through the back door. They got aired out by Cleveland the game before that, lost to Phoenix the game before that. This is a lock-in spot for the Lakers. Can't let the early season momentum they had slip away. I think they have to win this basketball game. I think they go and get it done on the road. I think it's just a bad matchup for the Grizzlies. We'll be betting Memphis a lot this season. Just not in this spot today. Give me Los Angeles. I'll lay the points. Here in this one. Let's keep it rolling. Next game up. We're in New Orleans, man, where the voodoo is terrible, man. God damn, Saints don't look good. The Pelicans don't look good. What's going on down there in New Orleans, man? The Pelicans are 7.5-point home dogs with the Cavs coming in. We ain't overcomplicating this one. Short, sweet, simple. We're laying it here with the Cavs. Cavs 7-1 against the number thus far this season. Best ATS team in basketball, yet to lose a game. When they've played the bad teams, they've dominated them. And I think that's what they're playing tonight, a bad Pelicans team. The Pelicans are basically missing their entire starting 5. DeJounte Murray, out. CJ McCollum, out. Herbert Jones, out. Zion Williamson, game time decision, which means probably out. Jordan Hawkins, game time decision. Not really much to work with here. We already know the Pelicans are on the do not bet list, so this one's short, sweet, and simple. Cavs have shown the ability to beat up on bad teams. Cavs are the better basketball team. Pelicans on the do not bet list. The whole city of New Orleans got bad mojo, bad voodoo going on right now. I'm just going to fade them. Short, sweet, simple. Let's keep it rolling. Next game up, we got my favorite team, the Dallas Mavericks, at home, at the crib with your Chicago Bulls. Rolling in, man. The Bulls, 10.5-point road dogs in this one. Short, sweet, simple. I'm laying the points with my favorite team, the Dallas Mavericks. I trust them in a spot like this. I do think the big line is warranted. First, the Bulls injury report is quite concerning. Got to keep an eye on it right now currently. Jalen Smith, game time decision. Patrick Williams, game time decision. Josh Giddey, game time decision. Zach LaVine, game time decisions. Lonzo Ball, out. That's basically their whole starting lineup. So keep an eye on the Bulls starting lineup, man. A lot of injuries for them. I looked at how these two teams matched up a season ago. Dallas dominated both meetings. The last meeting was in Chicago. The Mavs went in there, won that game 127-92. The meeting before that, Dallas did win at home at the crib. Not as dominant, still a comfortable win, 114-105. We faded my Mavs the last game here on the jam session. We took the Indiana Pacers. The Pacers are a bad matchup for my Mavs. They're an offensive juggernaut. Those are the style teams my Mavs struggle against. Teams that can score the basketball. We're not a great perimeter defending team with Luka, Kyrie, and Klay all out there on the perimeter. But teams like the Bulls, who are not offensive juggernauts, I think they struggle mainly with keeping up with us offensively. And I think that's what this game will be. Also, Dallas last season was the second best team in the NBA following a loss ATS-wise. They were 25-14-1 following a loss against the spread last year, basically covered at a 65% clip. I think the Mavs beat up on the Bulls here in this one. It is a big boy number to lay with the Mavs. They were basically a 50-50 home favorite last season as home favorites. Dallas a season ago was 19-18 against the number, but I trust them in this spot. I trust them in this situation, coming off a loss, playing a team that doesn't have the offensive firepower to keep up with them, playing a team who they beat up on twice a season ago. All the signs here point to Dallas for me. I'll lay the points with them here in this. Let's keep it rolling. Next game up, we got the Oklahoma City Thunder Buddies, one of our favorite money-making teams, out on the road laying 7.5. Are my eyes correct? There's a team laying 7 points in Denver? The fuck going on? I'm on the Denver Nuggets plus the points. I love the Thunder. None of y'all on this jam session love the Thunder more than me. I started Thunder Buddies. We've been betting the Thunder, god damn it, for 3 seasons here on the jam session. I love the fucking Thunder Buddies. All right? Don't get that misconstrued. But this right here is the definition of overrated and overvalued. And I'm well aware of the history between these two teams. The Thunder have gone into Denver and won basketball games. I understand that. They blew them out to start the season, 102-87. Shout out the Thunder Buddies for that. That still doesn't mean we lay this many points on the road. Not on Denver. On anybody else, hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. But in Denver, no sir, not me. Can't do it, won't do it. Jokic on the floor. Jokic on the floor. I'm on the Nuggets. Short, sweet, simple. The Nuggets go stupid, dummy, crazy at home at the crib. I know the Nuggets aren't the Nuggets that we're used to. The Nuggets that we've come to know and love over the last couple seasons. But in that same breath, they have won 4 of their last 5. In all 5 games, you know what I mean? They didn't play the greatest competition, I get it. Toronto, Brooklyn, Utah, Toronto. And a lot of those games were close. But they did go on the road and play tough against Minnesota. And I think at home, at the crib, I know the Thunder Buddies are right now probably the better basketball team. I know that the Nuggets are banged up. No Jamal Murray. Aaron Gordon also out. I understand that. But I still think the Nuggets can do enough to keep this game semi-competitive, if not have a very legitimate shot to win this game outright. Look at the Nuggets' home record over the last 3 seasons, and you'll see why I feel this way about Denver. Thunder are probably the better basketball team. Thunder should probably be favored in this game in Denver. But by this many points, I can't get behind. Nobody I would feel comfortable laying this many points with, even if you merge the Celtics and the Thunder. Even if this was the Eastern Conference All-Stars, the Western Conference All-Stars, I'm being 1,000 with y'all. I would not feel comfortable laying this many points on the Denver Nuggets. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. See if Denver shows up for me tonight, keeps this game competitive. If not, wins it outright. Let's keep it rolling. Next game up, we're in Phoenix, where the Suns are 5.5-point home favorites over the Miami Heat. Total 221.5. I think this is a tougher game, one of the tougher ones on the card, but I'm not going to overcomplicate it. I'm going to take the Miami Heat plus the points in this one. I don't trust the Suns as sizable favorites. Short, sweet, simple is what this game boils down to. Suns have been winning games. They are a good team. They're just not a win by margin style team. They weren't last year, and they haven't shown me those signs that they're going to be this season. Every game that the Suns have played this season has been a close game, except for one. They did beat up on my Mavs in that one game. But outside of that, every game for Phoenix has been close. Let's just go through them quickly. They played the Sixers the other day. They won by 2 at home. They played the Blazers at home. They won by 6. They played the Clippers out on the road. They won by 6. They played the Lakers at home. They won by 4. You see what I'm saying? Like, all the games for the Suns have been tightly contested except for that Mavs game. The Heat, they've beaten the bad teams, lost to the good teams. But I feel like in a game like this is a game that if I'm just following the narrative of the Heat, this is a game they come in here, definitely compete, may have a chance to win outright, but fall just short. So I'm just trusting both teams for who exactly I think they are. Suns, good team, will win a lot of games, just not by margin. Heat, really the same thing, really. They win a lot of games not by margin, and they keep a lot of games close because they like to muck up games. So I think this game's going to be tightly contested, come right down to the wire. Miami might have a chance to win it, but Phoenix pulls it out. Miami gets the cover. That's how I see this one shaping out. Won't overcomplicate it. Give me the Heat, plus the points here in this one. Let's keep it rolling, ladies and gentlemen. Next game up, we're in Los Angeles, where the Clippers are 1.5-point home favorites over the Philadelphia 76ers. Of course, still no Embiid for the Sixers. He actually just got suspended 3 games for pushing the media member. And Paul George, who did play last game, is listed as game time decision for this one. Keep an eye out on that. Clippers, they won their last game over the San Antonio Spurs. I told them if they did not win that game and cover, they were going on the do not bet list. They did win and cover, though, so they're not on the list. Shout out them boys. Do we want to sign ourselves back up to take them back-to-back games, though, is the million-dollar question. I guess so. The Sixers, they've really shown me no pulse. They did compete with the Suns in that last one, but the Suns love playing close games. We just talked about them, so I think the Clippers are the better basketball team. Clippers spent $1 billion on a new home arena. Y'all better beat the Sixers team, no Embiid, and a banged-up Paul George, who's struggling mightily right now. This better be a home win for the Clippers. It's kind of how I'm looking at it. So I'm not overly in love with the game, but forced to pick, of course, I would be on LA, in LA, laying the points. Last and final game of the night, we got the Toronto Raptors out on the road facing the Sacramento Kings. Kings, 10.5-point home favorites here in this one. We just saw these two teams match up a couple days ago in Toronto, where the Raptors won the game outright in overtime at home at the crib. Final score 131-128. Quick revenge spot, low-key here for Sacramento at home at the crib. Sizable favorites. Y'all know I love a quick revenge spot. Kings have been playing well recently, winning 4 of their last 5. That only blemish is that loss to the Raptors. I think they avenge it. I usually don't love laying extended numbers with the Kings, but I love a quick revenge spot. And in this one, I think, especially this time at home, in that late window Sacramento Kings spot, I think they take the Raptors behind the woodshed. I'm going to lay the points here with Sacramento here in our last and final game of the night. Let's talk some props, man. We got a lot to look at, a lot of games today. Here's just a couple off the top of my head that I looked through and I like. Jalen Brunson, over 28.5 points. The Hawks' backcourt doesn't provide anybody that I think is going to slow down Jalen Brunson. The Hawks have been giving up points after points after points after points. And Brunson, the initiator there in New York, the guy that gets it all going, he's the heart and soul of the team. I think he gets up and over his points total. He probably has 30 tonight. Him and Trae Young slightly go at it. Give me Jalen Brunson over his points total. Anthony Davis over his points total as well. If the Lakers going to show up tonight, it has to be on his shoulders. I think he gives Zach Edey his welcome to the NBA moment. I also think he kind of dominates Jaren Jackson a little bit. In the J.J. Redick system, they're trying to play through Anthony Davis more. I kind of like that. I think he gets his points tonight. He is game time decision. I'm expecting him to play. I'm expecting him to have a monster game. Give me Anthony Davis over his points total. Donovan Mitchell, over 25.5 points. We talked about this game earlier. Hey, all of the Pelicans' perimeter defenders are basically hurt. Their starting 5 is basically hurt. They're starting basically their second string in their G League team. I think Donovan Mitchell, who's been a man amongst boys this season, his team's undefeated, 7-1 against the number, playing extremely well. I I think they go down there and put belt the ass on the Pelicans, and he's the main reason why. I'm going to take Donovan Mitchell over his points total. Give me Klay Thompson over 3.5 made threes tonight. The thing about the Mavs and the thing about Klay, it's going to be a matchup-based game between him most nights. I think the matchup tonight favors him. And because he's had a couple of cool nights off, well, Indiana, he had 16 points. But I think in this one tonight, he gets the looks, he gets the shots up, he gets the opportunities to make them. He's on this team to shoot threes. That's his role. I think they definitely give him the chance and opportunity tonight at home. I'm going to take Klay to hit 4 threes tonight. He's going to shoot 9 or 10, I believe. We just need him to make 4. I believe in him. Give me Klay Thompson to go off tonight. This next one, we got Nikola Jokic over half a triple-double. You can either bet Jokic to have a triple-double tonight. I talked to y'all in depth about how I feel about the Nuggets at home at the crib tonight. And it has to be on the shoulders of Jokic. It has to be, quote-unquote, the best player in the league has to show up tonight. And if he does, it's either a triple-double or he goes crazy and up over his points total, which is 27.5. I low-key like both. I think you can attack either one separately, attack both, however you want to do it. But regardless, I think Jokic has a monster game tonight where he still shows the league, I'm one of the best players in the league. I know a lot of people think he's one. I personally have him 2 behind my man's Luka Doncic. But if you're one of the top 3 players in the league, you got to play like it in the big spots, in the big games, even when your team is banged up, hurt, and injured. And I think we get that exact style game from Nikola Jokic tonight. Give me over his points or take him to get a triple-double. Give me Keegan Murray over 2.5 threes. Keegan Murray. I love Ben Murray over threes. That's his role on this team to shoot threes. We've heard Mike Brown tell him, bro, shoot the ball. Nobody else really on the Kings is a three-point shooter in the starting lineup. Not Fox. Not I just lost his name that quick. DeMar DeRozan. Not Sabonis. It's Keegan. Keegan has to be the one to shoot the threes. They have him tonight at over 2.5. We need him to make 3. He's going to get 6 or 7 up, 8. I think he definitely has the opportunity to make the threes. I like betting good three-point shooters that get the attempts up to get their three-point totals. And that's what I'm doing tonight with Klay and Keegan. And last but not least, no Jamal Murray banged up for the Nuggets. Russell Westbrook going up against the team. He basically made the name for himself. I'm on Westbrook, man, going up against the old Thunder team. I think he gets the minutes tonight. Jokic needs somebody to help him step up. I think Westbrook will be a little aggressive and get over his points total. So that's what I like for y'all boys tonight, man. That's what I like for y'all. Westbrook had 21 in that last game, so I think he can come out hooping again. Quick recap. Brunson, over 28.5. I think the Hawks' backcourt provides no stopping of him. I think he goes and gets his 30. Anthony Davis, it has to be on his shoulders tonight. Lakers are playing through him. He should have a monster night. Donovan Mitchell, the Cavs played through him, going up against a banged-up, depleted Pelicans team. He should get his. Klay Thompson, I think he definitely gets the threes up to get over his points total. I think the Mavs share the ball with him tonight. I think he has a monster game. Give me Klay over his points total. If the Nuggets are going to stand up tonight at home at the crib, it has to be on the shoulders of one of the best players in the league. Give me Nikola Jokic to have a triple-double or to get over his points total, or both, however you want to attack it. Keegan Murray, same thing as Klay. Think he gets definitely the amount of shots up to hit these threes. I like him. I think he definitely can and will have the opportunity to do so. Give me him over 2.5. And Westbrook balled out last game. No Jamal Murray. Jokic needs some help. Going up against his former team, the team he won his MVP with. I'm expecting Russell Westbrook to have a monster game tonight. So that's what I got for y'all tonight in prop land. Let's make some money tonight. Let's kick the crap out of the books. And that's going to conclude this episode of my NBA Jam session. As always, I appreciate each and every one of you that continue to tune in and watch this video. Money Making Wednesday, ladies and gentlemen. We absolutely kicked the crap out of the books on Monday here on the Jam session. And on the premium side, I do have premium plays for you, ladies and gentlemen, over at the site. Went 4-0 on Monday. That was the bounce back day we needed. That was the day we needed to propel us forward for the remainder of the season, man. Y'all know we do here on the Jam session. We kicked the crap out of the books betting hoops, man. We're back on track now. Let's continue to do what we do. I appreciate each and every one of y'all, man, more than you know. It's been your guy, Jay Briggs, man. I'll see y'all tomorrow. I'm out of here. Peace.